I can't blame him for reacting to all this raw sexual energy, but
Welcome to the SUGA CRAVE Show. My guest this week is a special friend of mine. We worked on a project together called Blackjack, and he's coming out with a new song called 39 Seconds. It's a very, very funny interview. He talks about the background of it, how he wrote it, and just the production of it. It's fantastic. Lyndon is such a character, such enjoyable to be around with and talk with. Him and I, we're in sessions. We just have this like funny, it's a fascinating environment. Like, we go from creating music, right, to ball busting, to be sentimental, to just getting deep into our thoughts and our insecurities or strengths or humorous. It's so great to hang out with him and just being able to talk to him, right, especially with this interview, just seeing his growth of coming from him starting out with Straight Boys to where he is now. It's completely different. It seems like he has more control of his music, and so I feel like in this interview you guys are going to see his side, his personality, and his charisma, and just it was so enjoyable. So hopefully you guys can get that out of it. Hello.
hi.
Hey, looking all sharp over there. What's going on?
What? Wait, this whole thing? What do you mean?
Yeah, no big old deal. What's going on?
Just I have the ring light on for this.
Uh-huh.
I'm doing really well. I'm just in sunny San Diego. As you know, just moved here. I love it. My roommate and I are gonna go out to dinner after this. So I just thought I'd get ready a little bit before heading out. How are you?
I'm great. Just freaking busy with other stuff. But yeah, no, congrats on 39 Seconds. I think it's great to see the progression of everything that you've been through, and musically at least. It was
Thank
really
you.
cool just to kind of known you for like I think probably a little over a year, right? When we kind of, got introduced with one another. And so it was really great. It's really great to see your evolution of your progression
Thank
of your
you.
music, your songwriting abilities and stuff like that. So what got you started writing this song, the 39 Seconds?
Like all my songs, a boy annoyed me.
Per usual.
So per usual, what else is new? Like, if boys stop annoying me and I'm in a healthy relationship, like, I'm not gonna have a music career. I'm not gonna have a singing career. They need to
Right.
just annoy me for the rest of my life. But basically, this guy DM'd me on Instagram, like, was obsessed with me, and I knew he was straight, and he like didn't make that point unclear. He was like, yeah, this is definitely like just like out of curiosity and stuff, but like we remain friends, like blah 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 blah. So like it happens, we do what we do, and he only lasts, okay, this is an exclusive, he lasted 2.5 seconds, but he did like finish really quickly.
Yeah.
And I was really like annoyed about that, because like I'm very talented. So like
right. You can go
it is
all.
what it is. Like, yeah, like I can't blame him for reacting to all this raw sexual energy. But then afterwards, his reaction was just to like ghost me and just not to speak to me again. And I was a little hurt by that, just because this wasn't a situation where I like asked for it. I didn't DM him, he DM'd me. And
Right.
but I just knew, because he's actually the brother of one of my best friend's ex-boyfriends. So I knew if it ever came out that like we did anything, that like I would be the aggressor.
Right.
So that really upset me, because like that wasn't the case. Like I didn't really even know that he existed until he like reached out to me. And I was fine with it. I was moving on. And then like a month later, my best friend and I were like sitting on our couch, and she was telling me like a story about how he hooked up with a girl.
Uh-huh.
And after like they hooked up, she was like, hey, like, could you like give me a towel? Like, I really need a towel. Like, you're all over me. And he was like,
Right.
no, but I can like give you the door, and like kicked her out.
Oh shit. So yeah, like an attitude with him. So
Yeah. So I was like a little drunk off of like 8 White Claws, and I was really
right.
upset. And I
Hey,
grabbed my
White Claws.
phone, and then the melody came in my head like 39 seconds that I'll never give back. And then the next line was said he'd be different. Guess they always say that. And
Uh-huh.
then claimed you were curious, but that wasn't true. Yeah, I could tell for you this was nothing new. You're insane, so uptight. Like, and it just kept coming and coming and coming. And then by the time I knew it, I had written half of the song, but I just didn't know what producer to send it to, because it's like too pop for you.
Right.
No offense. We like every time we work together, it's like something super dark. We like dark pop. We're like
Right. Maybe it's just
emo
our
pop.
yeah, it's
like we just love like the dark sensibilities. And then
right.
the
You
other
need something
producer that I
bright
work with,
for it.
exactly, like he likes really like acoustic stuff, and I just didn't think that the song like was anything acoustic. Like he always thinks that I need to be like a Daniel Caesar, and like the song just wasn't that.
Right now.
So yeah, I like matched with this producer in England. His name is Lyrico. He's really talented. I sent him my voice recording of like the 39 seconds, and he literally within an hour like sent back like the entire song laid out, a really rough draft of it, but the entire song laid out. He sang what he thought it should sound like. I wrote it completely after that, and then the rest has been history. Like I recorded it a couple of times, helped produce it a little bit, and that like I told him what I wanted, what I didn't want. I needed it. Like the first iteration of it was very like kids bop, and don't get me wrong, like I grew up on kids bop. It's vibes, but I just didn't think that was like what I wanted for the trajectory of my career. He added some bass, like some, and now it's like this like Kygo-esque like summer of 2016 like summer bop, and it comes out in a week, and I'm really excited for people to hear it June 3rd. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're like super shot out of the cannon for this, and it's like it's exciting. I think it's because it's so what's something in the direction you want to go towards with all your music, right? You want to divert from the stereotypical of R&B or like, you know, something in that realm that people think that your voice, you know, should be, but you don't want it. You're just like, no, let me get to the direction I want it.
And I've had like really long conversations with you about this.
Right.
When I do something really well, people tend to kind of like silo me to only that. And I just didn't want to be pigeonholed by anything. Like, who knows? Like it's not going to be, but my next single could be a country bop. My next single could be a metal song, you know, like I listen to so many different genres all the time. And I just didn't want people to be like, oh, you know, like he's Black, he has a really soulful voice, he likes to riff, he has a really big range, like he's going to be an R&B singer. That might be true. I might be an R&B singer, but I also might be a pop star, and I might also want to be like a country music star. I might also like want to be just a singer songwriter and not like have a single at all. So it's just like I was realizing that a lot of the producers that I worked with expected me to do one thing because I do it well, and I just didn't want that to be the case. So yeah.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things that's like they think that they know how to use your vocals and the writing ability, but what it seems like you need to have is more of a producer that will follow the direction you were trying to go towards, right?
Exactly. Or just create a new direction with me as a whole, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it was like, you know, how Michael Jackson produced himself, basically. I think that's how, you know, Thriller came out. He knew exactly how he wanted his sound to be, right? Don't get me wrong, he had the greatest producers, or great engineers as well, but he kind of knew exactly what he wanted. So he produced himself, produced others towards it. So I think that's a route you can go towards to make it the process even better.
Oh, definitely. I think especially in this song as a whole, I don't know if this is like tangential or not, but like I learned the like art of listening before just doing. Cause I think before like we worked on Blackjack together, and I just didn't have like a good sense of direction in terms of like what I wanted it to sound like and
Right.
how I wanted it to be produced. I kind of like, it was very like 50-50, right? Like you produced, you worked on sound, I worked on my voice, I worked on like the different things that I could do with my voice. But with this one, I was like, no, like the second verse needs to be this. I want my voice to sound like this in this part. Like I sent you a demo of it. Like the part like one more, like I fought for that. Like I was like, I need this louder, I need this pronounced, I need this echo to like sound like an echo. Like I think it was beautiful. And I really took like, I almost took like an executive producer approach for this song, because like I realized like I'm kind of a control freak, as you are. And I needed to just exercise that muscle. I didn't want to just like let everything that I did depend on someone else or what another person said would sound good. Like I wanted to make sure that I was proud of it. So
Yeah, you need to.
and I am really proud of it.
Yeah, you need to take more control of it, because I think what we previously have worked together, I think you tend to know what you want, but you don't really vocalize it till the end, right?
Oh
Where
yeah.
until it's too late. So
I remember you'd have to force me to like give you my opinion, because sometimes I'd be like, well, this is like, I don't know. Like, what tool do you use to produce again? Do you use Logic?
I use Ableton.
Ableton. I was like, well, I don't know Ableton. And he's like, but you would always be like, but you know what sounds good and you know what you don't like. Like, tell me what you like and what you don't like. I'm like, I think it sounds fine.
Right.
And you're like, well, that's a dead word. Like, I don't know what fine means. Like,
right.
I need you to tell me exactly what you want. And, you know, unfortunately, like, I am really proud of Blackjack. I think it's a beautiful song. I think the lyrics are perfect. I think the beat is perfect. But I also think that had I like come into the power that I have now with my songwriting and my voice and my capabilities as even like a quasi producer,
right.
It would have just been a way bigger song, you know. But we're gonna work again to get like, you're not getting rid of me. I already told you
right.
that,
so. Even though we have so much great things in the vault, it's crazy. It's just like even that one writing session overnight.
We have so many songs just ready to go, just recorded on your computer.
And I love it.
Maybe we need to release some of that.
Yeah, like, I know. I know. I keep looking at it and seeing like what direction I can go towards. I sent it to, you know, A&Rs. I sent it to other singer-songwriters just to see what I can get it. I even send like even the same beat to other people and just see what other directions. But it's one of those things. It's great to kind of have like. That's why I tell all my producer friends, I'm like, you have to have a singer-songwriter with you. And you have to have like every Timbaland has an Aaliyah, right? And every Aaliyah needs a Timbaland. So if you don't have that, you can't make a song, right? It's really, really difficult to actually write a song with, especially if you don't have those talents of singing and songwriting. Finding an affordable recording studio to rent is quite difficult now these days. A lot of them are requiring you to pay a minimum of $50 up to $250 an hour. But luckily, I came across this great recording studio called Pirate Studios. They have tons of mini studios in one facility. And what's so cool about it, they're all around the world. They have one here in LA, a couple in New York, and quite a bit in Europe. These are great facilities. They have everything that you need. Microphones, keyboards, monitors, interface. All you need to do is plug in the USB to your laptop and you're ready to go. Luckily, I have a referral code for you guys to use. So if you put promo code RAUL 600435, you will get credit and also I will get credit. Once again, this is an amazing studio. I think it'd be great for you guys to check out, and let me know what you guys think of your experience at Pirate Studios. So
yeah, well, but I also will say like you're one of the, no, you're not one. I mean, you're one of the first producers that really like doesn't micromanage their singer-songwriters. Like you meet them at the level that they are, and you just have to harness that. You are a take Nazi and you love an exorbitant amount of takes for no reason.
For sure.
That was something that I enjoyed not doing. I think I did 39 seconds in 4 takes, did harmonies, did ad-libs, and that was it.
Oof.
I know.
No.
But it sounds amazing. It sounds amazing. They fix everything in post, baby.
Yeah.
With you, I do like 150 takes in like one, and then you're like, okay, let's move on to the bridge. And I'm like, let's just cut the bridge out. I don't want.
I'm like Ariana Grande. I want to retake
everything. Everything. But I'm gonna go back to the compliment before I get annoyed by your process. No, I think with you were like when I would write, I'm like, I don't know if this sounds good, and you're like, okay, well, like what else could go there? Like, what else can you write? You know,
Right.
or like you were really good at like, you were really good about like underlining people's like creativity and people's what they do well, and kind of almost enabling like the things that they thought were negative. For example, like
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't really that comfortable with my like falsetto voice.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, but I love it.
Yeah.
And with my vulnerability in the falsetto, the you like
Mm-hmm.
came about. And it sounds really like almost sheltered because I wasn't that comfortable with it. But
Mm-hmm.
it's beautiful because that was kind of the point of the song, you know, like I'm unsure. So
Right.
yeah, you're like a really like, I think that's what producers used to do like back in the day before they actually started making the beats.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're like a timeless producer. Like you could be a producer at any era. So that's good for you, even though you're wearing a stupid headband right now.
I know. I look like a fucking mess. I look like a grandma hippie right now with my hair.
I look
I look.
beautiful, and that's what matters.
Listen, it's all gonna be audio, okay? With no video of this.
No, dude, I have so much I have so much makeup on. We need audio. I'm sorry.
I know. I need some makeup. Give me some of your makeup right now. Jeez. But anyways, I think
Your like
it's
wife literally works in entertainment with makeup and costumes, and you always like decide to wear these like sweats and
yeah, some
like
basic
Reebok.
shit, some
Yeah.
like slob. That's why I would hire her, which I can't afford her. That's the thing.
Oh, she's expensive, but
But
she's
the
great.
thing is, I appreciate all your comments. I feel like it's just been a half an hour just full of comments for me. But let me give comments to you.
Yeah,
Listen,
well, you deserve these compliments. I mean, we've talked about it before. You're an A1 producer, not because you make just because you make sick beats. You do make absolutely sick beats, but like everyone that works with you feels like they're working with family, and that doesn't happen a lot. Like our sessions are, you're
mhm,
my therapist, you're my guidance counselor,
mm,
you're my manager, you're my A&R, you're like my everything. Like you just kind of like, for Scorpio, you're very selfless.
yeah. What's up with that, huh? You got a problem
No,
with
most
Scorpios?
Scorpios aren't. I'm kidding. Scorpios are great. My roommate's a Scorpio, and she's like,
Oh,
"What'd you say?"
see, she gets it. She gets
No,
it.
she's great. But I just think Scorpios can sting, and you decide to like
Listen,
sting
bitch.
with them.
No,
No, I
us
love my
we can
Scorpios.
be
I love
stubborn.
Scorpios.
That's the thing. Is like
Hmm.
that's the hard
But you
part.
guys are perfectionists. You guys are perfectionists too. So you understood the way that I worked, and you
Mhm.
understood when I said like this isn't it, and we did it again. You
Well,
know,
I
you
see your
like,
abilities. You have really great abilities. And there just needs to be a little bit more confidence in you, right? In yourself. And you know what? And sometimes it's not you. It's the person you with, right? You have all confidence of yourself. Look at you. You are amazing. You have that spunk. When you meet people, you're so lively and you have that confidence. But when it comes to your vulnerabilities, like singing is really, really vulnerable.
yeah,
You
I
be
get really shy about it.
yeah, which is crazy. It's crazy because
Yeah.
that's not like you. Your personality. You're lively. You're the party. You're the party of the group. You set the tone. But when it
Thank
comes,
you. I think it's because in my friend group, like in a social setting, I'm very
hmm
main character, right? Like I just
hmm
exude main character energy. But when it comes to like my talents, I've been singing since I was a baby. So
hmm
but like I've never sang main stage. Like I love to sing for my family, my friends. Like, but when it comes to like that part of my life, it's so personal that I just don't know where to
mm,
go, and I just get really like, you know. But I'm learning to just like let go of that, and because I think there's sometimes I confuse being shy with being humble, and you don't
hmm
have to be, you can be an extrovert and you can be the main character while still being humble. I mean,
right.
Beyonce, you know, Ariana
hmm
Grande, like
hmm
these are all very shy women who, you know, step into their power in a very big way. So I just need to like learn that like I can have both ways. I can't have it both ways. And I
Yeah, you
am learning
mean almost accepting yourself too, right? Not it's nice because we can have characters, right? Like for you, you have a character in a sense,
that.
as a
Hmm.
singer, as a performer, as a, influencer, there's that character, but also it's great to express that in music as well. Like that's the thing I love with myself as Sugar Brown, right? I have a character behind that. I can be someone in a third person rather when I come home on myself, right? I can
Yeah.
just act chill and out. But for you,
Definitely. And I'm learning that like you don't, it's not you hiding behind a character, it's
mm,
just a part of you. You know, like Lyndon that sings about pre-ejaculation
Yes.
isn't Lyndon that goes into business meetings and, you know, talks about getting a raise or does an interview for a Fortune 500 company or orders a salad even. Like, they're so different. And like,
Right.
for a long time, I don't know if I met you when I had this, but like I was going under a different moniker because I thought that I had to just change my name because like I didn't want to sing about hooking up with straight dudes. And then I'm interviewed for jobs and then have them be like, aren't you that guy that had that song on the radio about some dude coming in your mouth in 39 seconds?
Yeah, 39 seconds.
So now I'm like, I am that dude that
you are.
had that song, that hit song.
But you're gonna
so
how odd this sounds. This is gonna relate so much to people because it's such a real thing, right? People have experienced that. You know, people not only just with that particular song, but all your future music, right? If you keep it raw, hence they will respect you more rather than it's all bullshit, right? If you pull out bullshit, if you start, you know, throwing things that are like unauthentic, that's why so many people call people sellouts, because it's like they think it's not authentic to them at that moment, but they just don't know the meaning behind it, right? They just don't know that they had that feeling, right? You had that feeling of doing pop, right? Dark pop, whatever. In that sense, it's okay to do country, right? Why not? We're in that state, in the era that we can do what the fuck we want. So why don't we? Why stay in one lane? That's such a 1950s attitude of just being like, I want to stay.
I think it's because of marketing. I think for a long time, people just, if you did too many different genres, like they didn't know how to market you. But I'm an independent artist, so like I don't have to worry about that. Like I can market myself, and I used to hate that fact because I mean, marketing is really difficult. But like once you understand who you're trying to market, what your fan base is, the fact that they love you no matter what you do and what you go through, then like it just makes things so much easier.
Yeah, and I mean, marketing is that sense of like, okay, know your crowd, right? To put that product in front of them. Who's that person? But if you're changing every music, it's going to vary differently, right? Each people evolve differently. Ariana Grande wasn't like that 20 years ago or whatever, 10 years when she was in Disney, thinking that she was going to do music. No, eventually she did music and she's who she is now. But it's in the sense with you, I feel like it's great to see the evolution of yourself, right? I know every time we talk, it's really great to see, even though you've been through some shit, you've been through some struggles. It's great to see that you're still growing, you're still trying to learn from yourself, from your music. Like right now, it's really amazing that you were pointing out. You're like, you know what? I need to be more honest about the approach of my music. I need to be more controlling rather than let other people have more a say. It's like, fuck that. You have more control. Get that attitude that you originally are and put that in your fucking music and people will love it. I guarantee it.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like, this is the first song I think that I've ever released where it's like no holds bars. I thought I was doing that with Straight Boys, but like I didn't really say anything in Straight Boys. I realized it's like, it's a bop.
Right.
It's trap. It's cool. But like, this is the first time where I'm like, I'm just telling it how it is. Like, I just don't really care. I hope he hears it, and I hope he can last a little longer for his now girlfriend. Hope they're happy. But this is the first time where I'm just like really honest. And I played it for my roommate actually and my best friend, and she was like, I love this song. She loves the song. She loves the message. She absolutely loves it. And I'm like, that's interesting. Like, I thought you liked all my songs. No, this is the first one she's gonna say it because it's like, the other ones are just kind of fake. Like, they just kind of like sounded, they also didn't sound like me. Like, they didn't have my voice. Like, Blackjack was so beautiful, but just so melancholy. And you know me, like, I'm a very upbeat guy, you know, and like, this is the first time where I'm like releasing something that's more upbeat. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, more your avenue. I think it's more comfortability, not your avenue, because people would be like, oh, your avenue would be, you know, R&B, soul. It's like, no, this is your comfortability, this is who you truly are. And I think it's amazing.
But it's also I think what people expect from me, so it's like easy to deliver. Like, if I'm not, if I don't have to challenge the status quo, like I won't, you know.
Go against it. You have to, because or else you're gonna be fucking miserable in that sense and not, you know, That's why I changed a lot of things around me, right? I was so used to like, okay, let me make this type of music, or I should go with this approach. I was like, no, fuck that. I'm gonna make any kind of music with Sugar Brown, because I had so many people tell me like, oh, you should go this direction, this direction. I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna go direction I want to go towards, and
It's also
that's
like I'm like another thing was like everyone was like, oh, like people that love like the song or love the song, but like everyone just kept talking about how like it just sounded too retro, like it sounded too 2016. I'm like, we're forgetting that that was the best summer a lot of us ever had. You
right,
know, like
right.
if I can like enable people to have a little sense of nostalgia when it comes to music, I love that. And it's also like, you know, we've talked about this at nauseum. Like, I want to make timeless music. I think
Right.
this message and this song, even if it's a sleeper hit, even if it doesn't, even if people don't hear it until way later, even if I release another song and then people come back to this, like this content will be relevant forever.
Right.
And I mean, maybe all of my music will, like Space is pretty timeless, Straight Boys a little timeless, Black Track is definitely timeless, but like this one will always be a summer bop. And I'm so proud of that. So
no, and it's great because that's the something that you've been fighting for. I know we've been in writing sessions. You're like, I just need like a pop. I need something that's like this and that. And it's funny because we would play music back and forth. You're like, yeah, but just not it. And it's awesome to kind of see that you finally found something that
yeah, I'm
you've
really
hit the
proud of
nail.
it. Yeah, thank you.
But it's okay if it's
You're a pretty
2016.
harsh
But
critic, so I'm glad that you liked it.
yeah, no, it was
I
interesting.
sent you
I
some
was.
stuff, and you're like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Hey, steady." Back to the
No,
drawing
it's all with love, I try to kind of push it. It's one
Go
of
with
those.
love. I think some of it is a lot of with detest, but we can go with love since we're on camera and it's
It's
specific.
sweet love, passive love.
Yeah,
No, but
deep.
yeah. I don't know. For me, it's one of those directions. It's like you have to agree. A lot of music, you're not going to agree with one another, right? You're not going to
Yeah.
agree with your producer. You're not going to agree with your singer songwriter. So it's like setting the tone for the session. So like, what do you like? So more when you go in a session, do you like how do you know when it's going to be a good session when you go for a writing session?
When I think my favorite sessions, I don't know if they're good sessions or bad sessions, but my favorite sessions revolve around conversations. And I love learning through conversations. So, like, this is actually, you're not going to believe this. This is one of the very few songs that I've written from my perspective. Like, Blackjack is not written from my perspective. Space was not written from my perspective. You and is definitely not written from my perspective because I've never been in love, So this is the first song where I'm like, this is a story that happened to me and it revolves around me. But like a lot of the times, like even the song that we wrote, like I remember it was about one of my friends, like, and her coming to terms with the fact that the person that she fell in love with just wasn't the person that she thought he was, and like, so my favorite sessions are the ones where I'm like, oh wow, like let's take that line where you said, that his potential didn't outweigh the truth, and make that the first line of the verse, or like the time where you said like I lust for him but I don't love him, and make that into a song, just that single line. I think my favorite sessions are the ones where you come up with things and you write about things that you least expect. Like I really hate the idea that like anything that I do is stale or like predictable. Oh, I hate predictability.
Right.
So but in order for me to like not be predictable, like I just write from perspectives that aren't my own, and that's like really worked.
Why can't you write, events about your personal life? Is it sometimes too personal to the point that you just rather not share?
No, I'm an open book. Like anyone. No, it's not that I'm private. It's that like I just think that people are just so much more interested than me. Like, yeah, I'm interesting, but like I've written so many songs about my roommate and her situation, and she has no idea. And sometimes she'll listen to it, and she's like, "Bitch, I told you that shit in confidence." And I'm like, "Well, now the world is gonna listen to it."
Yeah, now you're.
Or like, yeah, or like how like we'll have a conversation. She's like my muse, I swear. I've written so many songs about just like her first boyfriend and like
I know every
like
time we get into conversations about like the songs that you write and then like the story behind it, I'm like, what is this? This is like the Housewives of Beverly Hills, like
yeah,
shit.
no,
It's
that's
like it's
literally just my
crazy.
friends' lives. Yeah. I write, I love to write like about things that have nothing to do with me, because I think that sometimes when you write about your own personal experience, like it kind of like it kind of it's not as universal. Like you're not inviting as many people in as possible. Whereas if I'm writing about something that isn't my perspective, like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, now everyone that has related to that, maybe not even me, can relate to it, and everyone that doesn't relate to that can empathize with it, you know? So
Mm.
it gives an opportunity for like other people to hear their experiences and like have a voice in something that I'm singing about, you know? Plus, I think I'm a storyteller at the end of the day, and like telling a story about myself just doesn't hold to me as much power as telling a story about someone else or about something that's made up
What's one thing that you always wanted to write about? Like you're just
that I
like,
haven't yet.
yeah.
I've always wanted to write like a power ballad, like a love, like you're here and there's nothing like I've
Mm,
always wanted to write, or like from this moment life has begun,
yeah.
like a wedding song, like a wedding
Uh-huh.
banger. I've always wanted to write just like a early 2000s late 90s just like R&B, like,
That's
you
my
know.
avenue. That's my
Yeah,
avenue.
I
I
know we never
know.
work on it though.
Yeah, I know. We
I
don't
would
get
love
to.
to do something like that. Like I just like I want to just like belt one time, just like,
Oh,
you
some like
know.
Whitney Houston kind of style, but like,
Yes,
but in a
yes.
wedding band kind of.
Yeah,
Ooh, yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Stay. Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
That would be amazing, actually, just to see kind of like push yourself in that sense of like, okay, how powerful can we be about your
Yeah.
vocal range and see. Wh-
Yeah.
What's one thing that kind of you fear or you kind of it's the vulnerable moment about songwriting? Like what's one experience that you've had that you feared the
Ooh,
most?
well, I think with Straight Boys, especially because that was the first single that I ever released,
Mm-hmm.
I was really nervous that people thought that I was one of those stereotypical gays that like I thought when I met you, you'd have to be like, oh, bro, like stop flirting with me or something. Like I
Yeah.
would die. And I was just really nervous that like when like if I release songs, I become those songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want that to happen. Like I wanted the songs to kind of like live on their own. Because I mean, I see it like, I think Taylor Swift is a genius. I love her so much. Like
Yeah.
everything she's done is just absolutely incredible. But like she's become her music. And like that's not fair,
Mm-hmm.
because like they were a part of her life, but they aren't her life. And I was just really afraid that like if I wrote about anything too personal,
Mm-hmm.
that I would become that dude that hook up with straight boys, or like that dude that makes guys come in 39 seconds, which like isn't me, you know, like it's like a specific event in my life, but like
Mm-hmm.
there's so many other parts of my life that like should take like the front, the lead. So yeah, but I'm not really afraid of that anymore. Like if like especially because I'm so early in my career, like if that ends up being me, like if I end up being known for the guy that made a dude come in 39 seconds, like I'd be honored. I'd be
I
like,
would be honored too. I would be like, I would hang
right?
that up on my
You'd be
wall.
honored if someone was like, you're the dude that made a dude come in 39
Oh, for
seconds.
sure. Yeah. Especially, yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I will wear that medal on Pride Week, flaying it. Don't get me wrong.
I want to create merch, and the first
Just like a
that
sperm splatter.
just comes stains. I'd be like,
Oh
no,
my
like
God.
keep it safe for
Color of the
work.
rainbow.
And I
That'd be
want it to
such a
say
great.
like, I want it to say like when he came, like, but when he came first, he finished
Uh-huh.
last.
Yes.
I think
That'd
that's
be
just really clever and really funny.
sponsored by
Maybe I'll have all
Nike.
my friends wear it for Pride.
Oh, that'd be great. I'll buy one of those shirts. That'd be so
Yeah,
great.
no, I'll probably send you one for free. You don't have to buy one.
Oh, that's so sweet. But I
Yeah,
think, well, thank you so much for taking the time and just talking to me. It's
of
always
course,
have a
friend.
lovely conversation. We go into
You
these like
know,
depths, these rabbit holes, and just like your personal life, which I love because I feel honored. You get vulnerable at moments that it's it's fun, it's exciting, but also it's like a learning experience as well with me, because like I don't know, I think we just have really good deep conversations and fun. We have always had great time in the studio.
I know it
And
is always really fun. Lots of laughter.
yes,
But a lot of
what
work done too. A lot of work gets done. You make sure of that.
yes,
You don't ever waste each other's time, which
it's
is
got to
nice.
be a balance, you know. You need to make sure that one another is kind of, you know, in the mood, you know, because sometimes you go in sessions, it's dead. You're just like, I don't feel creative. Okay, let's talk. Let's
Right.
shoot the shit. So that's a good time to like, you know, make up that time to kind of get those juices flowing and stuff. But you're going. I'm just so proud of you for going the route that you want to. I know
Oh,
you've been
thanks,
working your ass
friend.
off. You know, just it's good to see from a fellow, you know, producer, for a fellow friend, just to see you grow as a human, and just I don't know, I'm proud of you.
Thanks, friend. Yeah, I'm proud of me too.
Yes. So everybody go check out
Yeah.
39 seconds. By this time with this podcast, it should be out already, because we're gonna release on Friday,
Yeah, releasing it next Friday, June
next Friday.
3rd.
Okay, actually, no, it won't. So this will be out on Monday prior for it,
Okay.
but this just tune in, pre-save it. Love you, dude. Appreciate it.
Love you.
Thanks for checking out the interview, guys. Be sure to subscribe to the Patreon. It's only $1. You get these interviews ahead of time. No commercials. Also, I put up sample packs, unreleased music, some remixes I can't release officially, and then some other goodies up there. So make sure it's only $1. And check out 39 Seconds. It should be out by this Friday when this podcast comes out. Check it out, show some love, and then I'll see you guys in the next one.